This is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jacqueline Coley. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. Al-Haji MC Cham, the veteran Gambian politician and the last surviving member of the Gambian delegation to the historic pre-independence talks at the Marlborough in London in 1964, has died at the age of 94. A two-day training course on transitional justice for media practitioners and youth began on Thursday, organized by the Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, WAVE Gambia, and partners. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in partnership with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, concluded a four-day training program in the Gambia, bringing together 50 ECOWAS staff to strengthen their operation. We hear about a Gambian who is growing fruit trees as his contribution to tackling the negative impacts of climate change. In international news, today is the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, an occasion to recognize their enduring struggle, resilience, and legitimate aspiration for justice and self-determination. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Al-Haji MC Cham, the veteran Gambian politician and the last surviving member of the Gambian delegation to the historic pre-independence talks at the Marlborough in London in 1964, has died at the age of 94. Adedrame pays tribute to the man.
According to his family, MC Cham died shortly after Friday prayers on the 28th of November 2025 following a brief illness. He was born Mamadou Kadi Cham, but was widely known simply as MC Cham. Following the news of his death, Gambians from all walks of life and of all political persuasions have been paying tribute to the man. In February 2025, when another of the delegates to that historic 1964 conference, Al-Haji Khalilu Singate, passed away, renowned historian Hasum Sisse's tribute to Al-Haji Singate referred to MC Cham as the last man standing. Now he too is gone. The Marlborough House Conference was the final conference to negotiate the country's independence, with the initial one having taken place in 1961. The 1964 conference consisted of 10 plenary meetings between the 22nd and the 30th of July that year. The conference included 10 Gambian government officials led by Dawda Jawara, the country having been granted self-government but not yet independence. 5 opposition delegates, of which MC Cham was one, were also in attendance, the others being P.S. Njai, K.W. Fun, I.S. Borang John and I.M. Garba Jahompa. Although he had been in opposition at that conference, after the country became a republic in 1970, MC Cham became Minister of Education, Youth and Sports and Culture, and was also the Finance Minister in the 1970s, as well as holding other ministerial portfolios under the PPP government. The Mayor of Banjul, Rohi Malik Low, paid tribute to MC Cham, describing him as a pillar of strength, wisdom and democratic leadership. She added, "To the nation, he was MC Cham. To me, he was my darling grandpa, a mentor, a guide, and a constant source of support." She also suspended all her planned activities for the weekend. The UDP and other political parties all paid tributes and offered their condolences to the family. Janaza prayers were held today, Saturday, the 29th of November 2025, at 1 p.m. at the King Fahd Mosque in Banjul, followed immediately by burial at Old Joshua Cemetery. MC Cham's death is the closing of a significant chapter in Gambian history. For QTV News, this is Ade Darami.
A two-day training course on transitional justice for media practitioners and youth began on Thursday, organized by the Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, WAVE Gambia, in partnership with the Post-DRC Unit and the International Center for Transitional Justice. Loliam Kamara tells us more.
Supported by the Global Initiative Against Impunity with co-funding from the European Union, the training aims to equip youth and media practitioners with a solid understanding of transitional justice processes, the TRRC's recommendations, and ongoing social cohesion efforts. Majabu Sise, Programs Associate at Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, WAVE Gambia, shared some insights on the training.
Journalists, they send a message, and they're always communicating with society in various media platforms. So I think it will be very important for them to be engaged on issues that we are advocating for, and also issues that we want the victim and other stakeholders to hear about the status of transitional justice process and issues affecting the victims as well.
The Gambia's transitional justice journey, shaped significantly by the work of the TRRC, has created a crucial platform for advancing democracy, human rights, and peace. However, officials acknowledge that gaps remain in effectively translating the TRRC's recommendations into inclusive, community-led action. A major criticism is that the majority of the TRRC's recommendations have not been implemented. Samba Jawo, legal consultant at the International Center for Transitional Justice, noted that the team addresses the Gambia's ongoing effort to confront past injustices, heal societal wounds, and build a future grounded in justice, truth, and dignity.
As we engage today, let us use or do humility with mutual respect. Let us listen to one another here, learn from one another, of course, and honor the diversity of different perspectives in this space. Let us remember that this gathering is not just an event, it is an opportunity to grow, to connect, and to contribute meaningfully to our national development.
Sirif Saidi Khan is the Vice President of the Gambia Press Union.
Transitional justice reporting requires a higher degree of professionalism. Therefore, I encourage you all to effectively utilize the training and learn from the best resource persons during the course of the 2-day capacity building training.
Fatoumata Saidi Khan is a participant in the training.
It's going to help journalists equip themselves in reporting about the TRRC, the findings and the implementations, what the government is doing so far since the TRRC findings are out. So because the victims are crying, so we want to know exactly what the TRRC or what the WEAV have for us as journalists to report on.
This initiative underscores that effective transitional justice and societal cohesion rely on active youth involvement and informed media landscape. By amplifying survivor voices, fostering youth-led dialogue, and providing participants with multimedia storytelling skills, the program helps build a foundation for a future in which young Gambians drive the pursuit of justice, peace, and national unity. For QTV News, Loliam Kamara.
The Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, in partnership with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, concluded a 4-day training program in the Gambia, bringing together 50 ECOWAS staff to strengthen their operational capacity. Yafa Tugay reports.
The training comes at a critical time as the region faces ongoing political and security challenges. ECOWAS peace support operations depend on seamless coordination among military, police, civilian, and support components, a task that grows increasingly complex as missions evolve. Over the 4 days, ECOWAS staff acquired knowledge of mission environments, organizational structure, and step-by-step processes for managing complex operations. Participants also reviewed the updated ECOWAS Peacekeeping Handbook to ensure procedures reflect emerging realities in modern missions. The training, coupled with the reviewed handbook, is expected to enhance operational efficiency and strengthen the readiness of ECOWAS mission in the Gambia and across the region. Mieta Lily French, the ECOWAS resident representative in the Gambia, emphasized that well-trained staff and harmonized procedures are essential for effective peace support operations.
The ECOWAS Staff Officers course convened here in Al-Haji Hotel, and this is the 3rd time it's happening continuously, is a continuation of this collective vision. Jointly developed by the Directorate of Peacekeeping and Regional Security of the ECOWAS Commission and the KIPTC, this course aims to equip participants with a solid understanding of ECOWAS structures, planning procedures, and mission support mechanisms. It has provided you with practical tools and standardized approaches required for effective performance in complex and dynamic mission environments.
Umar Danladi Abdullah, delivered the vote of thanks on behalf of the participants.
We assure you, ma'am, that the knowledge gained during this course will go a long way in enhancing our operations, not only in ECOWAS, but in further operations going forward, ma'am.
The 4-day ECOWAS KIPTC training has equipped staff with essential skills, strengthened operational readiness, and reinforced harmonized procedures, ensuring more effective, coordinated, and professional peace support operations across the Gambia and the region. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafat Gay.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have national and international news stories. Do stay tuned.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. We have a breaking news. The Gambian Forces has confirmed that Sana Manjang, a former member of the paramilitary hit squad known as the Junglers, is currently in custody. The disclosure comes amid reports that several individuals were recently detained in connection with ongoing security operations. Manjang, who fled the country after the fall of the Jammeh regime, has been implicated in several high-profile human rights violations documented by the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission. GAF spokesperson Malik Sanyang said Manjang's detention has been verified, but cautioned that the identities and nationality of others reportedly arrested have not been established. We'll bring you more on this news when we get it. Moving on. The negative impacts of climate change leads to harsh weather conditions like global warming, unpredictable rainfall patterns, drought, and environmental degradation. There is a saying that every little helps, and Vicente Gomez is one of those doing their bit towards climate change adoption by planting fruit trees in his native village of Kitty. Mamadou Gajaga caught up with him, and this is his report.
Vicente Gomez is passionate about the environment, climate change resilience, and adaptation. He grows trees for climate change as a coping and countering mechanism to some of the adverse effects of climate change. These fruit trees, such as pawpaw, banana, passion fruit, and orange, are amongst many grown at his compound's backyard. He talked about his passion for fruit trees, climate, and food security.
Nice. So that's the passion fruit.
Good.
Yes.
That's good.
All part of actually our seeds project on the climate change resilience and adaptation. So you see you have the papaya as well as the banana. So that's it. All this actually is just fruit. So you see, this one is already ripe, you can see. So maybe we'll donate one to you as one of those who came here to really cover us for the first time. So Gajaga, that is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Vicente's initiative aims to not only enhance local food security, but also improve environmental resilience. Fruit trees help in carbon sequestration, prevent soil erosion, and provide shade, making communities more resilient to climate-related disasters. Vicente believes that small actions can lead to significant changes, inspiring others to adopt sustainable practices.
December 26, 2024, February 18, 2025, and then 1st of May was when we actually planted most of the things here.
And you did it with the kids?
With the kids.
Oh,
in
wonderful.
fact, including this. In fact, they even planted it directly on their own.
Wow.
Yes, you see?
Ooh,
yes, so passion fruit. Eh?
This is amazing.
No, well, that's it. So we believe in climate change, resilience and adaptation.
Through his efforts, he demonstrates how trees can be a powerful tool in addressing climate change challenges while fostering community development. His work reminds us that collective action, coupled with individual passion, can drive positive environmental change. If his efforts are emulated by many others, their collective efforts could end up having a big impact. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
The Gambia has joined global efforts to raise awareness about antimicrobial resistance, AMR, a mounting public health threat that could make common infections increasingly difficult or even impossible to treat. I attended the Ministry of Health's press conference on activities marking Antimicrobial Week, and this is my report.
Antimicrobial resistance, MAR, occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites evolve over time and no longer respond to the medicines designed to treat them. Health officials warn that this alarming trend contributes to longer hospital stays, higher medical costs, treatment failures, and preventable deaths, both globally and in the Gambia. Locally, health workers have reported a growing number of infections that no longer respond to first-line antibiotics. Experts attribute the rise of AMR to several factors, including the misuse and overuse of antibiotics, especially for viral illnesses like flu or common cold, self-medication, and failure to complete prescribed courses. Globally, in 2021, AMR directly caused 1.14 million deaths and was associated with nearly 5 million more. Projections suggest that, if unaddressed, AMR could claim 10 million lives annually by 2050, totaling approximately 39 million deaths between 2025 and 2050. Mamadou Barrow is the WHO representative.
In Africa, the burden is even heavier. Over 1.05 million deaths are associated with AMR, surpassing deaths from HIV/AIDS and malaria combined. It is a serious threat and a serious public health concern.
Here is Dr. Usman Sise, Deputy Director of Animal Health at the Department of Livestock Services.
I would want to urge all our people in the livestock sector to prioritize the use of other options rather than these antimicrobials, including the vaccination of our animals to prevent diseases rather than using antibiotics to treat diseases.
As part of the awareness campaign, the public is being urged to take antibiotics only when prescribed by a qualified health professional, avoid pressuring clinicians for unnecessary medications, and always complete their prescribed treatment. Rohinjai, Deputy Director of Health Promotion and Education at the Ministry of Health, underscores the importance of the AMR Awareness Week.
We must not use antibiotics except being prescribed by who? A medical professional. At least, please, we put across this message as much as we can, because if you look at our community, that is what is happening. Everybody has become a prescriber or giver of antibiotic. So let's make sure that it is only been taken by a medical, prescribed by a medical professional, and that is really going to help reduce this menace. That is why we are doing this awareness week.
Officials emphasize that tackling AMR is a shared responsibility, warning that without urgent action, the world could enter a post-antibiotic era, where minor injuries and routine surgeries become life-threatening. The Ministry of Health is urging communities, health workers, policymakers, and partners to collaborate in slowing the spread of resistance and protecting the effectiveness of life-saving medicines. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Goli.
Coming up next is international news. Every year on November 29, many countries across the world mark the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, an occasion to recognize their enduring struggle, resilience, and legitimate aspirations for justice and self-determination. As Atubari reports.
Established by the United Nations in 1977, this day is a global reminder of the need for a just, lasting, and peaceful solution to the Palestinian question. The 29th of November holds deep significance for the Palestinian people. On this day in 1947, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution, known as the Partition Resolution, which called for a creation of two states in Palestine, a Jewish state and an Arab state, while designating Jerusalem as a corpus separatum, which is a territory granted special status under a special international regime. Of the two states envisioned, only one has been established to date, Israel. The Palestinian people, now numbering over 8 million, live mainly in the territories occupied by Israel since 1967, including East Jerusalem, as well as in Israel, neighboring Arab states, and refugee camps across the region. More than 150 countries worldwide, including most nations in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, as well as European states such as the United Kingdom, France, Belgium, Spain, Ireland, Norway, and Sweden, officially recognize the State of Palestine. As of late 2025, more than 69,000 Palestinians have been killed and roughly 170,000 injured during the recent conflict with Israel, according to the Gaza health authorities. Many of the victims were civilians, including women and children. Exact numbers are difficult to verify because some remain unaccounted for, under rubble, and occasional ongoing outbreaks of hostilities continue to cause casualties. A ceasefire was brokered in October 2025, facilitated by regional mediators and supported by international actors, including the United States. The deal included provisions for a prisoner and hostage exchange and the delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza. However, the ceasefire has remained fragile, with violations reported on both sides, and violence has continued sporadically, highlighting the tense and unstable situation. As conflicts persist and humanitarian needs grow, millions of Palestinians, both in the occupied territories and the diaspora, continue to face displacement, restricted freedoms, and insecurity. Today is a solemn reminder of the need for renewed global commitment to justice, accountability, and lasting peace. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
And before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. Al-Haji Cham, the veteran Gambian politician and the last serving member of the Gambian delegation to the historic pre-independence talks at Marlborough in London in 1964, has died at the age of 94. At a two-day training course on transitional justice for media practitioners and youth began on Thursday, organized by the Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, Wave Gambia, and partners. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in partnership with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, concluded a four-day training program in the Gambia, bringing together 50 ECOWAS staff to strengthen their operation. We heard about a Gambian who is growing fruit trees as his contribution to tackling the negative impacts of climate change. In international news, today is the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, an occasion to recognize their enduring struggle, resilience, and legitimate aspirations for justice and self-determination. That's all for this bulletin. Join us on Monday at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.